good morning, wherever you may be in the world. Thank you for joining me for another edition of the Truth Conductor Show. Man, I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. See, when I get some money, I'm going, the first person that pop up in here, when I go live, see, that's the one I'm going to bless. I'm going to have them fighting for trying to be the first one when I go live. I ain't worried about. I'm not worried. Bernie, what's going on? Thank you for joining my brother. See, I'm not really worried about people not coming in and participating. Cause I know how to trick them. I can get them. All it's gonna take just a little bit of money, man. They'll be eating out of my hands. Eating out of my hands. I'm telling man. Thank you, brother. Thank you, brother. Okay. Thank you, man. Thank you. I receive, brother. I receive. And may God give you a hundredfold return, man, on every dollar you've given me, brother. I pray that you get a hundredfold return. I mean, serious, man. And, you know, see, it's moments like this that kind of keeps your hope going. You know, keeps your spirit lifted. When somebody can come in, man, and just bless you, you know, and you ain't even looking for it. You see what I'm saying? You know, see, and that's how God works. God works, you know, thank you, man. See, God works when God starts working in your life, you ain't gonna see that coming. That's why I ask, you know, whose fears are you actually living? What's going on, Edward? Whose fears are you actually living? Are you living your fears? Or are you living somebody else's fears? It's one or the other. Something has you afraid. And you need to find out why you're afraid. And the very thing that you're afraid of is the thing that's probably your answer. Okay? So, you know, I'm just saying, listen, man. You only go around this way once. Why not just pull the plug and go for it? What have you got to lose? Because even if you miss the mark, you're going to learn something. See, that's the thing about ideas. See, ideas are nothing but a door. And there are other ideas behind that door. Once you open it, you're going to discover a whole bunch of other ideas. Some are going to be good, and some are going to be worthless. But it'll be up to you to decide what you want to pursue. And see, and what I'm saying to people now, listen, now is a good time to start pursuing some of your ideas. Man, you know, a lot of y'all ain't paying attention to what's happening among the stars. I mean, they got some alignments going on, man, that been thousands of years in the making. And you are here right now witnessing it, which means it's going to be some different energy in the earth realm. And, you know, and instead of planning all of this doubt and 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 second guessing and fear, Man, why don't you start putting in some faith, some belief for some things that you want? What have you got to lose? And see, and this is the problem why most folk are scared to take a step because they trying to calculate what they gonna lose. See, they ain't worried about what they gonna gain. They worried about the losses. And do you realize how many people are paralyzed because they're worried about what they might lose and don't even give themselves a chance? Okay? And see, and it all goes back here again, man. You know, it's a little bitty good things that start happening to you that you need to pay attention to. I got a tour tonight, which is one of the reasons, and Ethiopia, Omaro, which is a country in Ethiopia, was down there protesting. And I said, well, man, let me go home early because I got to do a tour tonight, and just relax a little bit. So I went by the store. I said, let me get me a little potato salad. You know, first I was gonna get one of them big ones. And I said, nah, just give me a little bitty. Give me a half a pound of potato salad. And and I said, well, let me walk over here and see. I need some avocados. So let me walk and see what kind of avocados they got. I'm standing there picking up some avocados, and this brother walks by me. He works there, and hands me a coupon. He said, here, go on and get your bag of them and get $1 off. And I said, for real? He said, yeah. Yeah, get a bag. Here's a coupon. Get $1. It's good for $1 off. Okay? And I was sitting there thinking like, wow, God, see, that's how I wasn't even expecting that. And see, here's another thing. See, see, God is telling a lot of y'all to bless people. And you're scared. You start second guessing. Because you don't know that voice. And see, and that's another reason a lot of y'all scared, because you don't know what God's voice in you sound like. See, you don't know what your inner voice sound like. That's why you're scared. That's why you don't follow your intuition. Because you don't know what that voice sound like. And so consequently, you listening to everything. But man, your inner man has a special voice that you need to try to get, because when it start telling you, yeah, see, let me tell you something, man. Sometimes when you're put in a situation where it might require you to give your last, is a test. A lot of times that's a test to see where your heart is. See, because remember, God is going to bless you according to the desires of your heart. That's how important your heart is. Did I say I don't own the rights to this music? I think I did. I don't own the rights to this music. Anyway, God is going to bless your heart. And sometimes, man, you might be giving and God want to see just where your heart is. Will you trust him? You and me. And boy, some of the best times in the world to give is when you in need. Let me say that again. Man, some of the best times in the world to give is when you in need. Because then you saying, God, I'm going to trust you. You know I need this. But I'm going to let it go anyway. And believe you. And the first thing, nah, man, I need this. I can't help you. I need that myself. And you just missed a blessing. Because God, you showed God where your heart was. Man, um, what day was it? Yesterday? Yesterday. Um, I I got a guy, boy, down in front. I'm praying for him. God, take that bitterness out of his heart. That's all I can do is just pray and ask God to take that bitterness that's in his heart out. But he's a very angry, vindictive person. And he literally will go out of his way to scare people about me. Literally go out of his way to scare people. And so consequently, people, will walk by and don't want to give a donation because he done scared them. And and I was saying, you know what, Lord, I'm gonna trust you. I'm gonna trust you. Okay, that's what I'm trusting. I'm trusting you. I'm not gonna even worry about this. Man, a guy came yesterday and asked me to play a song, and I played it for him. And he said, and he pulled out $100 bill. He said, "You got any change?" I said, "No, just put the whole thing in there." He said, "You know what? You're a good man," and dropped the $100 bill off in the bucket, just like that, just like that, just like that. And see, and see, when you're not afraid and you step out on your faith, man, God is gonna move on somebody's heart on your behalf. Let me say that again. See, when you start stepping out on your faith and believe in God and you ain't scared, man, God is gonna start touching people's heart on your behalf. You ain't got to worry about nothing. You ain't got to be uptight. You ain't got to stress yourself out. Just trust God. Because he say, all things are possible to him who believes. And it's how much you gonna believe. And see, and your belief, man, you gonna have to fight, get in the ring and fight to hold on to your belief. When you believe in God for something, man, devil ain't gonna sit back and let you enjoy that. They ain't gonna let that be no cakewalk for you. You think the devil is gonna let you just believe something, the word of God, without challenging you, without trying to intimidate you and scare you? Come on, man. Devil ain't gonna sit back because then if you start getting it right, you gonna tell somebody else. And then they start getting it right. Now he's really messed up. Okay? What's going on, gamer? And this is the problem. See, a lot of y'all scared to even try. You done counted yourself out before you even start. I ain't got the money to do that. Where am I gonna get where can I get the utensil? I ain't got no space for that. You done counted yourself out before either idea done came to you, and you wouldn't even embrace it, and it went to somebody else. Look how many times you done saw somebody did and said, "Damn, I thought of that." Yeah, you did, because it came to you first. But with your scared ass, you ain't want to embrace it. So it went to somebody else. You see, and a lot of y'all are using your families and friends as excuses to hide your fear. You using them, well, you said, you told me. that I shouldn't do that. You didn't think it was a good idea. You wasn't gonna do it no way. You just looking for a scapegoat. And the person that come along and tell you ain't a good idea, that's your scapegoat. See, that's your excuse for not pursuing. Man, I had when Trump was indicted in D.C. A real good friend of mine down in Florida called me up. Matter of fact, the first friend that I had when I came here called me up, Don. I don't think it's a good idea for you to be downtown tomorrow when Trump is being indicted. I knew then that's where I needed to be. When she called me up and told me that, I said, I know then. I said, that's where I need to be. Because I'm not going to, and see, we embracing everybody else's fears. We won't listen to our own intuition. We won't listen to what our inner self is telling us to do. But we'll listen to somebody else. Ain't that amazing? You won't listen to your own intuition, but you'll take the advice of somebody else that's got less courage than you. And see, that's another thing. A lot of y'all need to pay attention to who you listening to. Some of y'all listening to the wrong people. They ain't got no examples on their life to show you of what they talking about, and yet you constantly give them your money, and they telling you about what's on somebody else's life. And every example they use, they got to use somebody else, because the example ain't on their life. Okay? And y'all need to pay attention to that, man. When somebody's talking to you, if they can't point to that same story on their life, they just want your money. And unfortunately, a lot of y'all are falling for that. You're falling for the glamour and the glitz and all of the other stuff. Man, you can be just as effective with just a phone as you could with a big old studio. And see, that's what I got to do. I got to upgrade. I need to get an upgrade. Cause I noticed that when I do my videos, there's like a little static that's in there, that's in the line. So that's nothing but an upgrade. And I'm telling y'all, listen to me, man. Listen to me. See, this is another thing that like a lot of people criticize the fact that I wear a mask. And the Bible says a prudent man will hide shame. But what I've come to realize is this is showing me how to use my creativity when I have a handicap. This is what this is doing. See, most folk when they get a handicap, they throw the hand in, they give up. Most people, not all, most folk, when they get a handicap, they give up. And isn't it strange? Pre-COVID, if I did this, man, they call the police on me if I had a mask on. Pre-COVID, black man walking down the street with a mask on, shit. Call the police on him. What is he up to? What is he up to? Call her, and now it's commonplace. So I'm just taking advantage of something that's common. That's all I'm doing. And still maintaining my integrity. See, I'm telling you, I got some effed up teeth. It's why I wear this mask. That's why I'm wearing it. And I'm gonna get me some implants. I am. That's what I want, some implants. So until I can get the money to do that, man, I wear the mask and upgrade my phone. I'm gonna see. I'm serious, man. I'm calling to see. This is an iPhone 11 right here, and I got an 8. This is an 8, and this is 11, and I think they're on what, 14 now. So you see, I ain't been keeping up too much. I'm 3 behind on this one and 6 behind on this one. So no, but I'm upgrade my phones, man, and my website designer um, has an apartment with a studio in it, and but it's way out in Maryland. It's way out in Maryland. Okay, way out. I'm talking about 25, 30 miles outside of D.C. It's up near Gaithersburg. Is where she got, and she's like, if you want to stay there, I said, girl, Caddy can't. I don't even want to put the strain on my caddy every day to be trying to make that 20, 30-mile trek. I said, I can't do that. I be pushing it, the little miles that be carrying it now. I said, but, I can't. But I just told her, I said, let's talk about that studio. Let's talk about that studio. Because that might be, that might be what I need to do. I got a book idea for DC Black History. And it's going to be in parts. Part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4, part 5, it's going to be in parts. And what I'm going to try to do, what I will do, is take all of the history of the city and just put it in a book. And my intent is to make the book a tour. You'll have to figure out how to connect it, but it will be a tour. That's what it will be. It will be a tour. Okay? I'm gonna say, I'm gonna, this is, um, and the book will be entitled "The DC You Thought You Knew." That's gonna be the title of my book. The DC You Thought You Knew. The Black History Experience. Part 1. And I just take one of my tours and write a book. Part 2, be something else. You know? That's how I see that in my head right now. And see, this is another thing that stop being afraid to embrace your ideas. Stop being afraid, man. Embrace your ideas. They're gonna lead you somewhere. See, the only person that is scared is the sinner man. He's the one that should be scared because he's not gonna know what is gonna make him stumble and fall because he's looking behind him. But you see, that good man can fall 7 times and get back up. See, that's the thing about a good person. And when you're a good person, you walk in your integrity. You ain't got no reason to be scared. And that's what most folks struggle because they not walking in their integrity. That's why they can't challenge nothing. You see? And then they assume that everybody else is just like them. And that might not be the case. See, most folk don't, they struggle walking in their integrity. They're scared to walk in their integrity. They're afraid to do the right thing. You're afraid to do what's right. So that tells you right there, man, how powerful fear is. When you're scared to do what's right, that tells you fear ain't nothing to play with. And you got a lot of people out here playing with fear. Okay? So, whose fears, man, are controlling you? You need to decide. You know, is it your significant other fears that's keeping you in bondage? Something is keeping you in bondage. Why? Why? You know, and when you can answer that question, man, you got, that's the start. What am I afraid of? And that's the question a lot of y'all need to ask. What am I really afraid of? Am I afraid that people ain't gonna say what they gonna say, what they gonna think? Am I afraid that I think I'm too old? Is that your fear? You think you past your prime? You too old? Somebody else got you believing you too old? Whose fear is controlling you? And when you can and see to sit down and honestly be able to answer that question, you got to be transparent. See, you have to be real with yourself. And what most folks struggle with is being real with themselves. Because you gotta do so much to be. Look how fake you have to be just to be accepted. You know, young ladies got to have all this weave and these eyelashes and nails and fake breasts and fake butt. I mean, look at the deception that you got to put yourself through just to be accepted, just to be considered likable. You got to be somebody else. How come you can't be yourself? And that's another fear. When you have so many people that are striving to be somebody else and not themselves. They ain't comfortable with themselves. They got to have the long nails, the weave. You know, they got to have the Botox shots. You know, I mean seriously. You got some people out here that's dependent on that stuff, man. Because they ain't comfortable with them. They're scared to embrace them. And see, listen, So, so true conductor, how you know the voice of God versus the voice of the devil? Real easy. God ain't gonna tell you to do nothing wrong. God ain't gonna tell you to do nothing wrong. God ain't gonna tell you to go and try to get another person's husband or wife. God ain't gonna tell you to go and steal no money. See, God ain't gonna tell you to cheat nobody, to deceive no. That ain't God. And when you start getting these kind of thoughts, you need to know the difference. Who you gonna serve is the question. Are you gonna serve God or are you gonna serve man? And when you serve man, you worried about what people think. When you serve a man, you worried about what people are thinking, what they're saying. When you're serving man, you don't even put God in the equation because you're too concerned about what man is or is not doing. And we all get caught up in that trap. We all get caught up in that trap with what man is saying and ignoring what God is saying. All right? Listen, y'all, I'm going to take me a little nap. I got me a tour tonight. I'm going to take me a little nap. All right? And I'll get back with y'all. See you later.